Aries, thank you for joining me. This is your horoscope for November 2016. It's really nice to be with you today. I'm going to have a look at the most significant events that are going to happen in the astrology in November and how they're going to affect you specifically as sun sign Aries. Now, the first thing is that Mars, your ruler, up until the 9th of November, is in Capricorn in your 10th house. Now, Mars is about personal drive and agency. It's what you want, it's what you're not going to compromise on, and really what you desire. I want this, therefore it's right, I'm not going to question it, I'm just going to do it. It's in the very earthy and practical sign of Capricorn, so the desire is really to work and to be productive and to get down and dirty and to be productive and constructive and to get things done. And that sits in your 10th house, so really you're going to want to work very hard at whatever it is you're doing, and really be careful with that, because if your life purpose is to be a spiritual teacher, for instance, but for whatever reason you've been suckered into working at a supermarket here for the first 9 days of November, then that is what your main focus is. So work smarter, make sure you're doing something that you genuinely care about in the long term, and use this kind of driven energy to move things ahead, to progress, to proceed, and to really even transform your working life and your career through your own efforts. There's no joking around here. It's really hard, it's really serious. It's like, I want to get on, I want to compete, I want to be the best, and I identify as someone who works. Now on the 9th, Mars then goes into Aquarius in the 11th house, and the energy totally shifts. So it's like the gas pedal is now, you've taken your foot away from that, and what you're focused on is really your connections with other people and how you connect with other people and what your role is when it comes to your friendships, to the people in your life. Am I making a contribution? I want to be of service, I want to help, I want to even do volunteer work or charity work. Your social conscience really kicks into effect here on the 9th of November, and you're really going to focus on other people, their needs, and what you can do to support them. So again, use this to your advantage. If you've got a lot of work that you need doing, do it at the beginning of November here. You're going to be much more productive, because from the 9th onward, it's about socializing, it's about solving other people's problems, it's about being of service. And if you have personal things that need doing, use the energy while you've got it. Now on the 12th, your personal planet of Venus, the planet of love and beauty, that's been sitting in Sagittarius in your 9th, where it's giving you a desire to really have a love for expansion and growth and learning new things, especially higher realms of knowledge. So you've been thinking, you've been learning, you've been really open and broad-minded to new ideas. On the 12th here, it changes significantly, and it kind of hits the ground like an anvil, and it goes into Capricorn in your 10th. So the focus is now back on your career and your work, and it's not so much like Mars was, when it's like, I have to work, I have to succeed, I am, you know, I work, therefore I am. This is a love for work. This is like, I really express the way I feel in practical ways, through work, through the things that I can do, through my own personal strength, and how I can be productive. There's a real joy and love behind it. So, you know, the two are similar. Mars is about, I need to be at the top of the leadership table, and it has to happen, and if not, I'm going to get angry and mad. Whereas Venus is much more about, I love doing this work, and whether I'm number one or not doesn't matter. It's the work in itself that gives me a sense of pleasure and purpose and achievement. So this is a great time to be creative and to really get in touch with who you really are and what you love, and to work at that. So if you want to write a book, if you want to create your own deck of tarot cards, if you want to write a piece of music, how can you take the things that you love and work with them to create some sort of tangible physical format that's going to have an impact on the real world? So that shifts on the 12th, and that's going to be with you now for the rest of the month. On the 13th, Mercury, the personal planet of communication, that goes into Sagittarius in your 9th. So whereas Venus has now left the ninth, and that love for information and discovery has left, and it's been replaced with productivity, Mercury kind of picks up the slack, and it's kind of like a satellite floating into your life and saying, okay, you're still going to pick up higher realms of knowledge, you're going to communicate very well, and you're going to think wide and far. How does my work and how does what I love impact other people and the world at large? So along with Mars in Aquarius, you've got a great kind of focus on the bigger picture, and you can communicate with that and you can understand it. It's not just you on planet Earth by yourself doing what it is you love. You see that within the greater context and how the things that you do impact other people. So that's really wonderful, because not only are you being creative, but you can see the things around you and you can comment on them and you can include them in your work, and you can almost create a sense of social commentary with that. On the 14th, we've got the full moon happening, and for you, Aries, this is really a blessing. It's almost like there are gold coins falling out of the sky and raining into your universe. The full moon is when the moon is completely illuminated and it sheds its energy onto us. It's in Taurus, so it's practical earthy energy. So yes, you're going to work in a creative sense here up at the top of your chart with Venus, but you're going to find that you're very practical. You know, sometimes you paint a picture and you've got a picture in your, an image in your head, but when you try and translate that onto the page, it just looks totally different. This is when those things match up, and what you imagine internally is very likely to appear in the real world, in the here and now. Also, the fact that this is in your second house means that it's very likely that you receive some sort of financial blessing around the middle of the month here. Taurus is money, belongings. The second house is money, finances, belongings. And the full moon is an abundance of energy. So you have a cornucopia of prosperity just kind of raining down on you, and it's a real blessing. Not only that, this is a super moon. So this is the closest the moon has been to planet Earth this century so far, and it's not going to be this close again until 2034. So whenever the moon is this much closer, it has a greater impact. And for you, that's very, very lucky when it comes to money. It's also the 5th supermoon that we've had this year. We've got one more on the 14th of December in Gemini, but that's why this year has been really intense, and why people who usually could care less about the moon have been impacted and affected by it. Now, the big news of the month really is that on the 19th and 20th of November, Neptune, the planet of dreams and aspirations, comes out of its 5-month nap and it goes direct in your 12th house in Pisces. Now, Neptune is about feelings, it's about the intuition, it's about visualizing things. It is very happily placed in Pisces because it rules that sign. And in your 12th house is kind of spiritual strength. So from now on, Aries, you can really visualize how you see yourself, who you are, and who you see yourself as being in future. So you can really manifest this idealized notion of you, and all you need to do is focus on it and allow it to grow bigger. You're also going to intuitively feel whether you're on the right track or not. So listen to your gut, maybe try a meditation practice that allows you to tune in and really let that guide you. Now, Neptune is in Pisces once every 160 plus years. Okay, so this is rare. And this time around, it's in Pisces from 2011 until 2026. So we've still got a long time to go here, but with it being in your 12th house, it's very much a magnifying glass on who you are spiritually. So use that to see the best image of yourself that you want to create. On the 21st, the sun goes into Sagittarius, so happy birthday to all the Sagittarians out there. And for you, that goes into your 9th house of expansion, travel, growth, education. And it combines with your midheaven, your Mercury, and your Saturn, which is all in Sagittarius. So there's a real focus on learning and learning through work and implementing the things that you're learning and becoming self-educated. So it's important for you to be productive because you do have these kind of antennas pinging all over the place. And it's not so much that you learn by sitting at university, it's by being productive that you get personal insights. Then finally, at the end of the month here, on the 29th of November, the new moon happens in Sagittarius, and again, that's in the 9th. So the latter half of the month here, from the 21st through until the end of the month, there's a real focus on learning and developing your ideas and your knowledge as a result of what you've done. So you're really your own mentor, you're your own trainer, and really allow yourself to work at something that you're passionate about and that you can actually make progress in that. So, if you are the spiritual teacher, refuse to work in the supermarket in November, because you can really transform what you love and how you work and how you see yourself as a productive, capable person. So those are the most important influences that I have seen here in November. If you would like me to have a look at your personal chart, if you're interested in what's coming up in your love life or what your life purpose is on a spiritual level or on a working life basis, then please get in touch with me for a private reading. You can do that on my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab and you can order your reading with me there. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll speak to you soon.